listener. My name is Lulu King, and I'm so happy you've joined me tonight. This is your time to slow down, to let the day slip quietly into the past, and to step into a world of soft words and gentle wonder. So settle in, get comfortable, and let me guide you into tonight's story. Before we begin our story tonight, find a place where you can be completely at ease. Perhaps you're lying in bed, the weight of the day already beginning to slip away. Or maybe you're curled up in your favorite chair, a soft blanket around your shoulders. Let your body sink into the surface beneath you. Feel the gentle support holding you, as if the earth itself has cupped its hands to cradle you. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, and then out 2, 3, 4. Now let's do it one more time, and you can continue to count in your head as I relax you. With each breath, imagine you're drawing in calm and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Notice the rhythm of your breathing, steady, natural, like the tide. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands rest loosely, fingers relaxed. If thoughts drift in, that's all right. Let them pass like clouds across a summer sky. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to hold them. Feel the quiet around you. Perhaps there's a faint hum of the night or the whisper of wind against a window. Let those sounds become part of the stillness. You are welcome here. You are warm. You are ready to be carried into another time, another place. And now, with your mind calm and your body at rest, let us step together into the story. In a time when the world was quieter, when the wind carried the scent of wood smoke and wild flowers, there stood a kingdom wrapped in forests so deep they seemed to breathe. The days moved gently there, like the slow turning of a page, and the nights were stitched with stars. This is where our story begins, not in haste, but in the hush before change, a hush that holds its breath, knowing that once the first word is spoken, nothing will be quite the same again. So let us walk together into the past, where kings and queens ruled not only with crowns, but with the weight of their hearts, and where 12 brothers lived, unaware that fate was already moving toward them. The king of this land was a man of order and ambition. His queen was gentle, her heart a garden of kindness. Together they had 12 sons, each one bright-eyed, strong, and full of life. The palace rang with their laughter, their footsteps echoing through marble halls, their voices carrying across the courtyards. But one spring morning, the queen discovered she was with child again. The king, who had long wished for a daughter, made a proclamation that chilled the air between them. "If this child is a girl," he said, "she shall inherit the throne. And the 12 boys must be sent away, for I will not have them stand in her way." The queen's hands trembled as she stitched in the light of the window. She loved her sons fiercely, each one a thread in the fabric of her heart. That night she called the eldest, Benjamin, to her chambers. Her voice was low, urgent. "Take your brothers," she whispered, "and flee into the forest. Stay there until I send word. If the child is a boy, you may return. But if it is a girl, you must remain hidden." Benjamin's jaw tightened. "If it is a girl, then she will have cost us our home," he said. "We will never forgive her." By dawn, the 12 brothers were gone. They moved like shadows through the trees, the forest swallowing them whole. They found a small, abandoned cottage deep in the green heart of the woods. There they made their home, hunting, fishing, and swearing an oath to one another. No woman would ever be welcomed among them. Back in the palace, the queen gave birth. The child was a girl, her hair like spun gold, her eyes the color of the forest after rain. The queen loved her instantly, but her heart ached for the 12 sons she could not call home. Years passed. The girl grew, unaware that 12 brothers lived far away. Their hearts hardened against her. And so the 12 brothers lived far from the world, their bond unbroken, their hearts sealed against the thought of a sister they had never seen. While in the palace that sister grew, her fate already entwined with theirs. Time has a way of weaving lives together, even when they are pulled apart. The girl, now grown, felt the forest calling her, not with words, but with the quiet pull of belonging. One summer morning, the princess wandered beyond the palace gardens. The air was warm, the sky a soft blue, and the forest edge shimmered with light. She stepped beneath the canopy, the world shifting to green and gold. Birds sang above her, and the earth smelled of moss and sun-warmed pine. Hours passed before she came upon a clearing. In its center stood a small cottage, its roof moss-covered, its windows open to the breeze. Inside, she found 12 neatly made beds, 12 bows hung on the wall, 12 pairs of boots by the door. She was still gazing in wonder when the door opened. A tall young man stood there, his eyes sharp but startled. It was Benjamin. "Who are you?" he demanded. She told him her name, and when she spoke of the palace, Benjamin's face changed. He called for the others. One by one, the brothers entered, their expressions wary. "I think," Benjamin said slowly, "this is our sister." The younger brothers bristled. "The cause of our exile," one muttered. "Why should we welcome her?" But Benjamin, though cautious, saw something in her, a kindness, a light that reminded him of their mother. They agreed she could stay, but only if she proved herself. And so she did. She cooked for them, mended their clothes, swept the cottage until it shone. She laughed softly at their jokes, listened to their stories, and brought warmth they had long forgotten. Their anger began to melt. One afternoon, she wandered into a meadow, gathering flowers for the table. She saw 12 tall lilies, their white petals glowing in the sun. She picked them, smiling, and in that moment the air shifted. A sudden wind tore through the meadow. The lilies fell from her hands. Above her, 12 black shapes wheeled in the sky. Ravens, their cries sharp and mournful. She watched in horror as they vanished into the distance. Her brothers were gone. Alone in the clearing, the princess stood with the lilies at her feet, the air heavy with the beating of black wings. The forest seemed suddenly endless, and she knew she would not rest until she found a way to bring them back. Some journeys are not measured in miles, but in silence, and silence was all she had now, for the only way to save her brothers was to speak no word. For 7 long years, a forest spirit cloaked in leaves appeared to her that night. "If you wish to free them," it said, "you must not speak or laugh for 7 years. In that time, you must sew 12 shirts from the starwort flower. Only then will the curse be broken." She nodded, her voice already surrendered to the vow. She wandered from place to place, gathering the delicate white flowers, her fingers raw from the work. Seasons turned. Her hair grew long, her hands callous. minimalist. She spoke to no one. One day, a king from a neighboring land found her in the forest. Struck by her beauty and quiet strength, he brought her to his castle and made her his queen. She could not tell him her story, but he loved her still. Not everyone welcomed her. The king's mother watched her with cold eyes, whispering poison into the ears of the court. She is dangerous, the queen mother said. A witch. When the princess gave birth to her first child, the queen mother took the baby away, claiming the silent queen had harmed it. The king, torn between love and doubt, did not know what to believe. Years passed. The queen bore more children, and each time the queen mother took them. Still, the young queen said nothing, her vow unbroken, her hands always working at the starward shirts. At last, the 7 years came to an end. On that day, the queen mother accused her before the court, and the king, swayed by fear, condemned her to be burned. The pyre was built. The queen stood upon it, the 12 shirts folded at her feet. As the flames were lit, a sound split the air, the beating of wings. 12 ravens descended from the sky, their cries fierce. They landed before her, and as she threw the shirts over them, each bird became a man once more, her brothers, whole and free. They turned on the queen mother, revealing her lies. The king, stricken with shame, embraced his wife and children. The queen mother was banished, and the family was reunited. And so, the 12 brothers and their sister lived on, not in the shadow of the past, but in the light of what they had endured together. The forest still whispered their story to those who would listen, and on quiet nights, when the wind moved through the trees, it sounded almost like the beating of wings, not in sorrow, but in freedom. And as with all stories worth telling, it rests now in your keeping, to carry with you into your dreams. Thank you for joining me for tonight's story. May your mind be light, your heart be calm, and your dreams be kind. Sleep well, and sweet dreams.